Chris, it was poor shooting in the fourth quarter. Did you like the looks they were getting?
I mean, for the most part, we got a lot of good looks, particularly off the offensive rebounds. It was the turnovers that we had in the fourth. I think we scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes of the game. So some of those were clean looks and, of course, turnovers, so.
Then a record night from the Bulls from the three-point line. They're just getting good looks. How did you see that?
Yeah, the first half in particular, they just were driving the ball and then we were collapsing and then just kicking out. They did a great job of making the right play. And we tightened them up for a little while, and then they made a couple late that broke the game for them. So.
Chris, do you view that as just a team that was hot in general, or was it poor rotations and things defensively?
They certainly were hot, but I think, we had to do a better job of, A, containing the ball, and B, closing out with a little bit more urgency. And I think in the first half in particular, I think we got the game plan wrong, so I'll take responsibility for that. And then, we finally adjusted it and started to look a little bit more like ourselves defensively. But by that time, they had, they had seen all the shots go in, so it's a confident team when it happens. So,
what specifically was slipping in the game plan, or what did you want to see?
It was just, I think we had probably the wrong coverages out there for a bit. So,
it's like Ant's been playing really well. It seems like his shooting numbers have dipped a little bit over the last 2 weeks or so. Is there anything you would chalk that up to, or is it just maybe a little bit of just one of those times right now?
Yeah, probably just one of those times. People go through it, and Jaden went through it a little while ago. Nas is kind of going through it a little bit at the same time. And there was a lot of good shots I thought to be had. Even to start the game, we got a lot of good looks we didn't make. I thought we generated pretty good looks pretty much all night long. There were some patches where we didn't, but for the most part, I thought we did a good job of generating good looks. And they just didn't go in. But again, tonight, to match their shooting, we needed them to go in. So.
And Mike, 19-7, that kind of seems like what he's posting lately. Is this just kind of what you're coming to expect from him, and just kind of the group and aggressiveness he has right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably should have called his number down the stretch. So,
Chris, they're a big physical team, not just at the 5, but they play physically. When you're going up against that type of team, what does that change, or what do you need to be intentional about?
I felt more like they were, kind of standing us up. I thought we needed to play through contact a little bit more, stay with some drives. I thought we kind of bailed on some drives when we had a chance to keep going with them. Early in the game, I thought they were hitting first offensively. We were spilling back 2 or 3 feet. So we got to get back to being, a hit first team. But I didn't think they were overly physical. I thought we kind of, just again missed a lot of shots early and got the coverages wrong. So that was the story of the game for me.
Is some of this can maybe just be chalked up to the fact that Alex Caruso doesn't usually hit the first 6 threes he makes?
Yeah, for sure. But he did, and some of them were wide open. He had one in transition where we all ran to the paint. He had one where we went under deep when we didn't need to. So there was a bunch of, I thought, kind of shortcuts we took out there in that part, but. Sometimes you got to make these guys miss. They're good players regardless of what their percentages are. You got to make them miss.
2 of the times you made runs, one was when they went small, and then another time when you had those like multiple floor general point guard whatever into the game. Is that J-Mac, Conley, slow-mo thing? Is it, you think that's sustainable through the season, maybe even the postseason?
I think so. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's not something that we're always trying to get to. It's we do it when the rotations fall that way. We probably need a little bit more scoring sometimes too. So, as we leave ourselves the freedom and latitude to kind of go wherever we need to go. So.
Pre-game, you mentioned defense being kind of contagious and rubbing off on others. With Rudy hitting the glass even while he's dealing with his rib sprain, is that something that you want to see kind of have that same contagious effect to others on the team?
Yeah, I mean, we got to be, our smalls got to rebound better in high leverage moments. They got a couple down the stretch. I don't remember if they scored off them or not, but those should be opportunities that we can turn into transition buckets the other way.